Hi, this lesson is for upper intermediate students. Right, what are we going to talk about? Yeah, it's about phrasal verbs again. However, this video will be something special, really. It will be unique in some way. So I know that you're familiar with such phrasal verbs as get up, give up, and what else, get along, and so on. However, these phrasal verbs aren't used quite often in real speech. We'll be talking about phrasal verbs which will be used, almost in every conversation. So let's do it. Yeah, really, let's do it. I think it will be very interesting. Yeah, I think that we often use in our speech such a verb as continue. So what phrasal verb can you come up with which means almost the same? So so you can say please continue, please continue, please continue. It sounds so interesting. Please continue, please continue. It sounds so interesting. What can you use instead of continue? Please continue. It sounds so interesting. You can use go on. So please go on, or go on please, go on please. It sounds so interesting. Go on means continue. Yeah, so it can help you keep up the conversation. Yeah, right. So someone is talking about something, and you need actually to express your feelings and say that it's interesting. It's interesting, yeah. But you can use such a phrase as it sounds so interesting, and you can also add a phrasal verb, go on. Yeah, you can add this phrasal verb, go on please. It sounds so interesting. For example, yeah, what example can we give? So I met a very beautiful girl. I met a very beautiful girl. And you can say, yeah, go on please. It sounds so interesting. You want to show your interest. Yeah, so I met a very beautiful girl. Go on please. It sounds so interesting. Yeah, that's the first phrasal verb, go on. Next. So it's often about understanding and, on the contrary, misunderstanding. Right, so if you can't understand something, usually say, I don't understand, I can't understand. So, for example, I don't understand, I can't understand. But it sounds a bit simple. So what phrasal verbs can you use instead of, saying this phrase, I don't understand, I can't understand? So, the sentence is the following. I don't understand. I don't understand how it works. I don't understand how it works. Or you can say, I can't figure out. Yeah, figure out. It's another phrasal verb. I can't figure out how it works. Or what else can you use instead of constant, or in addition to, figure out, make out. So the meaning is very similar. So if you say I can't make out or I can't figure out, it means, it means that you don't understand it. You don't understand it. So I can't figure out how it works. I can't make out how to find. I can't make out how to find the best solution to this problem. How to find the best solution. The best solution to this problem. Right, so you see, I met a very beautiful girl. Go on please, it sounds so interesting. I can't figure out how it works. I can't make out how to find the best solution to this problem. Okay, what else? Yeah, we often need some time to think about something. For example, let's go to the party. Let's go to the party. And we often need time to think about something. So what phrasal verb can we use? So you see, we can say wait a bit. Wait a bit, for example, wait a bit. A bit means a little. Wait a bit. I need to think it over. Right, think over. I need to think it over. Wait a bit. I need to think it over. So I mean, I need some time to think about it. I need to think it over. Yeah, right. What else? Then we often, say or we often say different things, and we can say that I want to say, I'd like to say, but it sounds the same. I want to say, I'd like to say. So I think it's mostly elementary level. So you can use more advanced structures and vocabulary as well. So a very good phrasal verb which is worth of our attention is the following: point out. You can say I'd like to point out. It means I'd like to note, I'd like to say, I'd like to point out. I'd like to point out that, to reach a high level in English. To reach a high level in English, you need to study it. You need to study it systematically. You need to study it. You need to study it regularly and systematically. Right. So I think it's a good example. So you see, let's go to the party. Wait a bit, I need to think it over. I'd like to point out that to reach a high level in English, you need to study it regularly and systematically. Right. When you want to suggest something, you can say let's do it, or I think you should do it, or what else can you say? So I have an interesting idea. Yeah, but if we are talking about our ideas, what phrasal verb can we use? Yeah, it starts with come. Come? Come, what is next? Come up with. So you can say I have an interesting idea, or I came up with a very interesting idea. It means that it came into my mind, it crossed my mind, so I came up with a very interesting idea, with a very interesting plan, solution, and so on. I came up with a very interesting idea, and then you continue it. It means, yeah, you can say I have an idea, have a good idea, but it's a bit simple. Yeah, you see. So let's revise it. Let's go to the party. Wait a bit, I need to think it over. I'd like to point out that to reach a high level in English, you need to study it regularly and systematically. I came up with a very interesting idea. Right. What else? Yeah, so when you're talking, to your partner, you often want, to remember something which was in the past. So, and talking about the past, talking about the previous points, you can use such a phrasal verb as get back. So let's get back. Let's get back to the previous point. Let's get back to the previous point. Let's get back to our discussion. Let's get back to our discussion. So it means that you want to talk about it again and to discuss it again. Let's get back to our discussion. Let's get back to our discussion. Let's get back to our discussion. Let's get back to the previous point. So let's get back to the subject, or to the subject of politics. Let's get back, it can be something different. So it's number 7. Yeah. Then, discussion. When you're talking, to a friend, to acquaintance, we often use such a verb as meet. For example, I've never met it in my life. I've met him or her several times. So I met her yesterday. So I met a very interesting, thing. So I met some interesting information and something like this. So meet. Yeah, but let's talk about phrasal verbs which can replace this verb, or to be more exact, let's talk about such a phrasal verb which actually could replace this verb. So you see, meet or come across. You can see that I've never come across it. I've never come across it. If you say it, it means I've never met it. I've never come across it, or I've come across it several times. I've come across it several times. It can be about people and about objects. I come across it several times. So I come across this several times. You can see that, this English word is new for me. I've never come across this word before. Yeah, this word is new for me. I've never come across this word before. Yeah, and number 9. So you often have to decide. Yeah, you often have to decide what to do, how to do in this or that situation. And you can say, I decided to do it. Or you can use such a phrasal verb as make. Yeah, and what will be next? Make up. Yeah, but not make up a story. If you say, I made up this story, it will mean I invented this story, I created this story. So it was in my imagination. So make up my mind. Make up my mind. It's a phrase, an English phrase, which means decide. So you can say, I can say, I made up my mind to learn English really seriously. I made up my mind to learn English. Really seriously. It means I decided to learn English really seriously. Yeah, well done. So very good phrasal verbs. Get back. Let's get back to the previous point. Let's get back to our discussion. Come across. I come across it. Yeah, I've come across, present perfect. I've come across it several times. Next. Made up my mind. I made up my mind to learn English really seriously. So let's revise everything, and then I think we'll do one interesting exercise. Right, so I met a very beautiful girl. Go on, please. It sounds so interesting. Yeah, the first phrasal verb is go on. I can't figure out how it works. I can't make out how to find the best solution to this problem. Let's go to the party. Wait a bit, I need to think it over. Yeah, I need to think it over. I'd like to point out that to reach a high level in English, you need to study it regularly and systematically. I came up with a very interesting idea. Right, let's get back to the previous point. Let's get back to our discussion. I have come across it several times. I made up my mind to learn English really seriously. Right, I made up my mind to learn English really seriously. And let's do one interesting exercise. Okay, really, let's continue. And actually, I have one interesting task for you. Let's talk about one subject using all these phrasal verbs. I think it's easy because, as it has already been said, these phrasal verbs can be used almost in every conversation. So really, I'm absolutely sure about that. Yeah, or in most situations. Right, so let's choose one topic. I think let's choose something familiar. Yeah, familiar to you. Let's talk about learning English using these phrasal verbs. So I tried to make a short talk. So we'll be using all these phrasal verbs, 9, right? So go on, figure out, make out, think over, point out, come up with, get back, come across, made up my mind. Yeah, so so really let's talk about learning English. I really think that I need to go on doing it. I need it for my job first of all. Actually, I can't figure out how to learn English more effectively. Yeah, that's one problem. And the second problem is that I can't make out, where to learn English. I mean, to go to attend some English courses or to learn it on my own. Yeah, so two very serious problems. So, I can't make up my mind. I mean, what to do at present. So really, I need to think it over. And I also like to point out that learning English, can't be just in 1 day or 2 days. I think it will be go on for at least half a year or so. Yeah, and I came up with a very interesting idea. So I think that English Galaxy, this channel, can really help me improve my English, and so I want to, spend money. I'll try to save up some money, and I'll be learning English here for a start. I think that's a good idea. I've never come across, such interesting videos. I think that's what I need. It's exactly what I need. Okay, and actually, let's get back to the first point of our discussion. So really, right, I made up my mind to learn English on my own, and then I'll see. So if I need, extra practice, I'll do it. So, I'll be having some practice with my friends, or I'll make new friends, and I'll be learning here on the channel English Galaxy. Okay, thanks. See you. Bye.